My name is Coco and I'm hailing from a cold, wet summer day here in Melbourne, Australia. For those of us in the know, summer is a person, not necessarily a season. It's one of the things that makes Melbourne an interesting place to live. Now, it's been ages since I've made a post, and that's because I've been studying law for the last year and a bit, and challenging is a very good description of law. And that's because if I was to give it a personality, law is the morbidly obese hoarder that retains everything to its detriment. And for a person that is schooled in science, it's a mess. And it tends to extract bits and pieces of science and bits and pieces of everything. And personally, my personal opinion is that it does that to make itself seem better than what it actually is. And for every contravention and transgression against humanity in the world, law is the reason why those things have occurred. Now, if there's enough nagging, then there'll be slight cosmetic changes, but ultimately the damage is already done, and people are unwilling to relinquish power. And more often than not, law is used as a tool of fear, keeping people in order, controlling people to an extent. And unfortunately, we're losing. I learned that very, very, very quickly. The reason why the world is so imbalanced is purely because the laws enable it. So what's the pushback? I myself personally have been mastering enlightenment. The silence is a welcome friend. For those of you who may not know, I have psychic, spiritual, mystic capabilities. The label's irrelevant. And a couple of those capabilities are the capacity to feel what other people feel, and to think what they think, and channeling their thoughts. Now, they're just a couple of the things that I can do, but it has meant that my head has been full most of my life. And if they're good emotions, that's wonderful, but I'll be honest with you, most of the time, most of the stuff I pick up is just fear, it's anger, it's misery. And now that I'm mastering silence, being present, enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, my soul is at ease. I can switch off the thinking with just a mere thought. And the dream is one day I will no longer be privy to useless cognitive thinking, mental stories and all that garbage. So the pushback I have learnt perhaps is that I create an online course to help guide people out of cognition. Well, cognition isn't an issue unless you're thinking rubbish. And even if it's good rubbish, it's still rubbish. Anything that fills your head up unnecessarily is not a good thing. So helping guide people out of fear, help guide people into the silence, help guide people into living intelligently. So I have so many ideas, but that's all very fine and good for me. I know the path, and it wasn't an easy path that I took. In fact, it was me more often than not, throwing myself against the brick wall and smashing my own head in with bricks. And I can tell you it hurt. It hurt a lot. So it hasn't been an easy trek, but I did it. And I did it with these supernatural capabilities. And I welcome the silence. So I'd like to be in a position to offer to be a guide, to help people out of the anxiety, depression, fear, anger, all of that yucky stuff that I used to know so well, very well. I was laughing with fear until I realized, hang on a second, I need to clean up the mess. So no more laughing. I'd like to know what people are interested in learning from myself, so I can deal with anything from mental dysfunction, dealing with the mental rubbish, the mental stories, the mental dysfunction basically, to physical health, including injuries, recovering from injuries, having a nice strong body. I can also do the learning how to be more present, learning to embrace the silence, learning to switch off all that unnecessary energy, and learning to help people to learn to get what they want from their own lives. I think it's probably a highly important thing, but I'm going to have to leave it to the masses to determine what it is that I do. So let me know what your ideas are, and I'm pretty sure that I can come up with something that will help you to make this world a better place for everyone, including yourselves. Cheers.